Hello and thanks for joining us at Hotkeys, Portugal. The weather's pretty changeable right now, which isn't exactly a surprise for February, and there's lots to do as and when the conditions allow.
So welcome back to central Portugal after a short winter break, and the sun is shining. It's warm enough for t-shirts, so we're in a good state. I think that's lovely. Going to take you for a quick look at some of the things we're planning to do on this next visit, and yeah, there's a good jobs list and lots to get on with.
Absolutely. I've got my green gloves on.
Got the green.
I'm ready to go.
Excellent.
One of the things I'm determined to do this time is, and I know a lot of you who've been watching have been commenting that we never got round to making anything look nice. So my plan is to try and paint inside here this trip. Just give it a slap of coat of paint. It'll make such a difference, I think. We've been putting up with it, but it's not great.
So the game plan in here really is to make it as comfortable as possible. So when we're in the summer months, when we're sleeping in here, again, before the reconstruction, before the redevelopment starts, but in the summer months to make this as comfortable as possible and as nice a place to live in during our time here.
As well as all that, we have a project plan that of course involves the driveway. And there are big plans to move the solar panels, but that needs a bit of design and engineering first. And we'll have the usual land maintenance to take care of too. We'll cover all of these in future episodes, but until then, back to my plants.
They do look a bit the worse for wear, don't they?
They're going to grow back. It's just the winter. The frost's got to them, really.
Frost? Here?
Well, cold mornings then, let's say.
I'm just pulling them just to see if the ones that come away easily, most of them aren't quite yet. There's a few that do. It's inevitable really, but strimming is a big part of the early days of a visit, and I think trying to work out where to do first, my inclinations lie with this top terrace because it's where you walk down as you approach down the slope towards the kitchen, and it's the sort of bit that we can see from our sort of dining spot. So we sit and we look out over that view past the willow tree and towards the hills beyond, and that's this top terrace. I think really is the starting point. If I can get this done, then we've got a bit of order, a bit of calm, and it makes just a huge difference to the feel of the place. Like we're back and we're back in and amongst it. That's the end of a fairly long swimming session, and It does look so much better. Now we can get underneath the orange trees. And see how the land lies. Very pleased with that.
And unsurprisingly, the Uncharter's back. Jane's back doing what Jane does all the time, which is dig. This bit where we put the wood chips down has kept the weeds down brilliantly while we've not been here. So want to do even more to try and clear the rest of the path here up to the Adega and round here to join up with stuff there in front of the house. So it's going to be an ongoing thing. I'm going to do bit by bit. But
so you're going to clear around the tree and make a sort of island roundy bed thing?
Yeah, the tree's probably going to have to go when we start the build.
Yeah.
But until that time, I'm just going to leave a circle around it. I'm going to try and give a bit more of a walkway. Join the bits
Okay.
up round, join the dots up, so to speak.
Oh, so come from behind here,
Yeah, at the bottom of the step.
this bit by the workbench, and then
Oh yeah, all along. Sort of up round here, make a circle round here,
Yeah.
and then all of this bit hopefully up to around here, this step here, will be wood chip.
and then are we going to leave the fire pit there too,
Oh yeah, I'm leaving that there for the time being.
in case we
Because
need
that's
to do
where I'm
another
piling
burn?
all the other earth up.
So in case we need to do another burn, we've got the fire pit there.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. And this just shows you how the olive trees, once they've been really hacked back, which they were right down 6 months ago, and look how beautiful that's come back.
Just a quick update on where I've got to end of day today, first day of digging. You can see a bit of the shape now that I'm trying to make. Up to the Adega. I've cleared a lot of grass away from the front of the concrete slab. And then I've just got to get it down, get the rest of this grass up in the middle and get it levelled. You know, try and get a gradual slope. It's going to be sloped, it's not going to be all completely down to the same level as that is, because that's a lot of digging. But gentle slope, I reckon, up to here. So, and then we'll fill in that bit over there, which you can't see. Join that up to where the wood chip is at the moment, and hopefully we'll step out onto a nice neat area. Not bad for the first day, is it?
A little bit overcast today, but first day back on site trying to get some real work done, and mostly it's preparation for tomorrow because I've got some work calls to do in the morning. So I want to be able to get the tiny house set up so that it's got power, it's got Wi-Fi and everything else to let me do some calls rather than have to keep jazzing backwards and forwards to the apartment. So quick look around on the inside and I made a bit of a discovery. I've got a desk set up in the corner here, and down there is the EcoFlow. That's all set up. It's connected to a couple of panels outside. And if I take you for a quick look, just on the outside, there's 2 panels against the willow tree. So those are set up, not much coming through. It's afternoon and a bit grey today, but with the EcoFlow switched off whilst we were away, it's still got 90% of battery. So that's great for now, and hopefully the sun will shine in the morning and give us some real power. But anyway, so this desk, and if you can see the glow on it, had a bit of a leak apparently above it. And if I take a look up to the top, you can see there's a few chinks of light coming through there. And that is probably where we're getting a little bit of a rain coming in. The rest of the roof has worked pretty well. Very pleased with it. Everywhere else appears to be completely dry. Very happy. But that one little area, you see occasionally little chinks of light where the tiles overlap each other and don't quite nuzzle up tightly, but mostly those are okay. But occasionally you might get a bit of wind driving the rain up, and I suspect that's what's happened up there, because that's just above where the water is on the table. So I've got the camera set up now on the roof just below, and I suspect it's this one, because I know I'm not quite able with the way the ladder sits to be able to get below it, but there's a big gap there which I can probably imagine has been where we've had a bit of water just blowing up, coming up this way when the wind blows, and if you get a heavy rainstorm and a bit of wind, it will have come up this way. So the only thing I can really think to do is just pop a little bit of mortar in between, just to provide a bit of a gap and stop that for future. So it should only take a few minutes, but it'll be worth doing and keeping the indoors as dry as we can make it. So that's about what I want to do with it. I realise it's not a good repair, but then this roof is probably only going to last us for maybe another year at that. It'll come down when the tiny house gets rebuilt, but for now just need to get a bit of weather protection over the desk area so that the screen, the monitor and all the other electrical bits and pieces don't get too wet. So that'll do for now. Question is, I've got a bucket of mortar, so better go and find something else to do with it. So after a bit more scouting around up there, I actually found the source of that shaft of light and cleared it out a little bit, and there's a blooming great hole in between 2 tiles. So I'm going to go up there with a shard of tile, see if I can find a way to mortar that and block it in place. Right, so I need another sort of 4-inch piece similar to that. So, been downstairs and got a collection of small shards, hopefully with a little bit of mortar underneath. I can sort of make a jigsaw puzzle to put those in place. That should do nicely there, for example. Professionals should look away now. This is very much filling up a hole in the quick and dirty fashion. That one's got a ridge on it that holds it in place. Much better. Yeah, so I think that's probably that bit is the bit that did more of the leak than the joint I first prepared. So glad to have found that one.
I think I can say that this is safely where the wild boar are getting onto our land. You can track the way the ground's been all ploughed up, coming through the fence from next door. They're definitely back. Looks like the wild boar have been having a bit of a party up here too, just near the well.
So I had a few comments in earlier videos about finishing off, as well as Jane's encouragement, of course. But as you may remember, the tiles have a bit of a gap to the board. So what I'm planning to do is to use at least some of the mortar I've mixed and fill in a bit of this gap, just to give it the weather protection from the side. Yeah, so I'm going to fill the bulk of it in. I've only got a couple of shells full, but if I can get a bulk, there's quite a big gap here. So if I can get a bulk in, maybe even if I put a bit of a broken tile and a few things just to keep it occupied, keep it loaded. In fact, I might go and see if I can find some now for the last one. See how that works. Fills a lot of the gap up. And a little bit goes up underneath that, and second coat, I suppose. Right, that's all the mortar I've got left, so time to clear up. True to the forecast, it's starting to rain, so just wanted to take a check inside the tiny house. I've set the computers up, ready to begin working today. Nice to be able to do some chargeable work whilst the rain and stops me doing work on the land. It's a nice balance to have. And there we go, workstation all set up and ready to use. We've got the Wi-Fi going. The 5G signal here is great. The modem we've got from Vodafone is actually a 4G unit, but it gives us absolutely brilliant line speeds for doing Zoom calls. So really pleased, this is a nice place to be. And of course, so far so good. Nothing seems to be dripping in from the roof. So that little bit of mortar repair I did looks like it's holding.
That's all for this week. It's great to be back at the farm, but we did have to spend a lot of time dodging the showers. Join us again next week, when we'll be keeping a close eye on the forecasts and doing all we can to make the house a bit more usable and comfortable for the year ahead.